Mrs. Green Apple, we are continuing our track by track listen through to the self entitled album from 2017. And well, we're on to track two, which is called In the Morning. And this one has a proper music video for it. So we're going to be watching the proper music video as well. I will say, as always, not just reviewing the songs on their own, but also in the context of the album that we're track by track listening through too. The opener was a banger. I really like that song Lion. It was such a good intro. Had this pop punk energy, but at the same time was filling it with the kind of nuances that you don't usually associate with pop punk. So I really enjoyed that. But it ended with the sound of a child laughing, which is supposed to warm everyone's hearts, but just kind of creeps me out. Anyway, so we're going to move straight from that, bursting into the song In the Morning. It's got a music video. It's got all that. Let's give it a little, what's the word I'm going for? Flitter. Let's listen to it. Oh, okay. Straight to the point. That was a weird little skip there. He is a coyote. Getting drunk and then running. Loving little octaves on the bass there. Yeah, another song with like a really strong chorus. This chorus really develops over a really satisfyingly long chord pattern as well. Yeah, the energy is relentless in this as well, which I think is that constant high tempo charge. Oh. And I've got to be honest, actually, these vocals are really good. Right? Key change! Oh my god, the judgmental faces. Trauma. Oh, that's a cool little guitar line. Another key change. Nice, well done. It's a restraining order. No. I really thought that was a ton of fun. And do you know what? This is one of those ones where you come out of it and not only are you thinking that was really fun, But also, I'm gonna in a way reference a lot of things I said about the last song, Lion. But it's a really fun song, but really well executed. I think that this song, before we get into any of the details, the thing that really made this song work is that you could just tell it was all written about escalating momentum. You know, the song comes in, and within the first few seconds, it's like, we have not got time to waste. Bang, get straight into it. So your head banging straight away, okay. And then the verses start off with like a judge 'em, judge 'em, judge 'em. It's like the guitars are playing loud, but they're not playing constantly. It's like leaving spaces between the notes because more is coming later. And then you get the chorus. The chorus is immediately kind of really, you know, grabs you, got a lot of energy. Second verse, we go through that a little bit, flipping things up a little bit, you know, keeping it a bit interesting. But then the second chorus, and the song is already ploughing along at quite a high tempo. I mean, this is all happening in like less than 4 minutes, but boy, oh boy, it feels even shorter than that, if I'm honest with you. And then at the end of the second verse, when we go into the bridge, like a lot of the time you get songs where you have your bridge and then you have a key change for the final chorus. So the bridge itself starts with a key change. I really like that. So we get out the second verse. It's like, again, we haven't got time to wait for the bridge to slowly build us up. It's like the bridge is going to be elevated to another key, and now we're going in a higher key. And then once that's all wrapped up, we go up again for the final chorus. And yeah, I love the fact this song, relentless momentum, pushing the key up twice was a really cool move. I just felt the song was very clearly all about starting you on a fast foot, but then rather than just going, hey, we got a fast rocking song, so keep that momentum up, you know. The listener, even, I always say this, like you think about this a lot of time, you have bands, this often comes up with a lot of heavy metal bands and punk bands, and a lot of rock bands. You have a heavy metal band, they'll start a song and it'll start super heavy, and that's the whole idea. Oh, this song's really heavy. But then within like a minute and a half, you're just kind of bored of it because it's got nowhere to go. It's like, well, okay, you're not going to go anywhere from here. It's like you started at maximum. Same thing, you have a punk song, it starts at like 200 BPM, and it's just kind of not giving itself anywhere to go. This is an example of a song that starts off quick but has got an idea of where it's going. So it builds, it produces more as it goes on. I genuinely felt that that was its main quality, was just a sense of awareness, of direction, of building you towards something. So even though you start off feeling energized, there's more in the tank, and by the end you feel even more energized than that, and that's great. For me, that's exactly what I kind of would expect from someone of Omri's songwriting quality, but I think it came across really well here. Similarly, so like I said, I'm going to give a slight cross-reference to what I said about Lion. I think that this is a song that, at its heart, is quite... it's got a... I don't want to say this in a reductionist way, but it has got a more compressed pop punk feel to it than the previous works like 12 and the debut, the first two EPs. Feels a little bit more compressed. I don't feel it feels over compressed, but it is noticeable that this album seems to have a little bit more of a mainstream style of production to it. But that also brings with it certain degrees of more playful use of sound. There was a little bit towards the beginning that I thought was not very well implemented, where we had there was like a little jittering sound. I think it was around about here. Might have been before this, might have been afterwards. I'll give it a few seconds. Was it here? Might be at the end of... No, okay, I've missed it. Maybe it was earlier. There was a... it's annoying. You guys probably, if you're watching this, you probably already know the song, you probably know the bit I'm talking about. There was just a bit of a weird sort of jittery chopper effect that just, it didn't really feel like it landed. And then, there was little moments like that, but overall, there were very few things in this that didn't, to me, feel like they worked really well. It is a song that definitely, yes, makes a great single. I did say, how is this going to be more of a single than Lion felt? I still think Lion would make a great single, but this definitely was a peak choice. At least as good a pick as Lion for a single. I also think that it just generally was very sing-alongable. There was still those little aspects that I mentioned in the previous song of it being a more straightforward rock song that found room to implement nuance. Yes, we do get that first verse where it's very much judge 'em, judge 'em. But even there, you can hear things like the piano playing counter chords to the guitar, so it's not playing exactly the same thing as the guitar. So as the guitar's going up, the piano's actually going down, and little things like that. So there's these nice little touches, but as it builds, and towards the end, you've got loads of extra sounds just pouring in from everywhere, like much more keyboard and synth, and much more flowing arrangement. Multiple guitar lines. Yeah, it's really nicely done as a build-up. I just thought this was a ton of fun. This is one of those songs where, and I often say this to people, like sometimes you can have a song that is very intelligently written, but is also very accessible, very easy access. I feel like this nailed that. The first two songs I've heard on this album really take me back to. I keep on confusing the names of, was it Progress and Variety? I keep on confusing them. I think it was the second EP. Was that Variety? But yeah, it reminds me, I think it was that one, which the second EP, which just starts with just constant energy, and it just kind of remains almost like constant energy throughout. This album feels like it's kicked off like that. I would say this is a very strong starting album. Now, I will say the first two songs have not shown a great deal of variety, excuse the pun, and this will probably have to have more variety than variety. Was that the name of the album? I'm still getting confused, aren't I? But, yeah, because this is a full 13-track album. But I will say, very strong start. I really do feel like this is an album where after two songs, I'm freaking excited. Can't wait to see what comes. Can't wait to see what else they do. But anyway, there you go. Those are my thoughts as always. Get in the comments. Tell me what you think. And until I hopefully see you very soon for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.